if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try to set up this camera and give you guys a demonstration of my wife's OCD nature. If you've ever seen Friends and the character Monica and her extreme OCD nature, you have an inkling of an idea of what it's like around my house with Rachel. Now don't get me wrong, I love it. It's part of what makes her her. And because of it, we have a very organized, clean home at all times. And that kind of just is an environment that I like to be in. But it's fun to poke fun at her about it and really test the limits of what she can what she can tolerate, and it's not much. If I can do this correctly when I get home, I'm going to set up my tripod or set this camera up where she doesn't know it's on, and I'm going to make maybe some picture frames crooked on the wall, or maybe another pet peeve of hers is if I put the dresser handles in the up position, or leave them in that position. She just has this radar that goes off, and all of a sudden she just knows something's out of whack, and it's just a matter of time before she figures out what it is, and she corrects it. We'll get into some of my quirks a little bit later, because I have some, and they're kind of just about as absurd in some cases as some of these that I'm exposing on Rachel. So hopefully this will be lots of fun. Okay, at this point I'm putting the camera in place, making sure that the dresser handles are in clear view. Rachel's around the corner in our home office, and we're having a pretty boring conversation about my business that I run. So I'm going to let the audio kind of fade out on that and kind of narrate what's going on. Here's a little cut jump to me putting the handles in position, in the up position, while still carrying on a conversation with Rachel. If you look in the mirror on the right hand side, you'll see me also lifting up a few of the handles on Rachel's dresser. Now she's finally coming around the corner, and let's see how long it takes her to notice. There she's going over to close the blinds. This is a routine she has every day. You'll see it's starting to get a little darker in the room. There she is in the mirror, and what do you know? She's fixing the handles on her dresser. She's already found the handles up in her dresser. Uh-oh, she noticed the camera. Oh, she just put down the handles on my dresser, but she didn't get to see it because I had to grab the camera and cover. But as you can see, she put the handles in the down position. I knocked some napkins out of the holder. Let's see how long it takes her to put them back.
Temperature of 63 degrees, mostly sunny, a mild day with a beautiful afternoon. We're up to 70 for a high on Friday. That'll be our warmest day. Saturday, depending on how much sunshine we see, will be at least in the upper 60s, maybe.
Okay, so to be fair, I have several quirks of my own, and I'll share 3 with you. quirk number one is in the wintertime, as it is right now, especially when it's very cold. I run the heater in my car, or my wife will run her heater in her car, but I have to have it set to blow air on the floor. If the setting is to blow air in your face through the air vents, it drives me crazy. I feel like I can't breathe and I'm suffocating, and I've got to immediately switch modes. Much better. Quirk number two I'll share with you is I'm fanatical about locks. Whether it's locking up my office when I leave, or whether it's locking the doors to the house before bedtime, it's very important that I do it. It's not enough that maybe my coworker did it, or my wife might have already checked all the doors. I have to check the doors. And the bad thing is, with my short-term memory, half the time I forget whether I locked the door or not, and by the time I get to my car, I come running back to pull on the door and make sure it's locked. Or at home, I'll go up the stairs and then I'll realize, did I check those locks? And I'll go back down the stairs, and of course they're all locked, and I've already checked them. And on a really bad evening, I might do this as many as 3 times, because I'm just not focusing on what I'm doing, and I forget, did I check those doors? But perhaps the number one, it's the number 3 quirk I'm sharing with you, but perhaps the number one thing that drives me crazy, and if you're one of the people that do this, shame on you, is I have to squeeze the toothpaste tube to where all the toothpaste is on the end. And unfortunately, my wife, is tidy and organized as her personality is, she just grabs the tube, squeezes it wherever her hand is, and she always leaves the toothpaste tube with a huge depression, or several little depressions from her fingers, in the middle of the tube. The middle. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this inside look at me and my wife and our quirks. And I hope you'll share your quirks and OCD behaviors in the comments section. And that's all I got to say about that.